Hey everybody, I apologize if you can barely see me, but I'm not in the best shape at the moment. I've had my shower, I've freshened myself up, but I haven't moisturized myself because I get tired sometimes. I tried sleeping in my other bed, well, not my other bedroom, but my actual bedroom. Tried sleeping in there, and throughout the night, I had electronic torture aimed at my heart. Now, it's been happening for the last few days. What's actually been happening is that I've been aimed at the heart from back here, whenever I've been in the front room, but it was never as severe as when I actually went into my room, because remember, my room is facing the street. So I went into my room to sleep, and I couldn't sleep because weapons were being fired at my heart. I was on the computer, and then at 2 in the morning I got a crank call, and I literally went off on this person. I said, why the fuck are you calling me? I'm looking for my phone now so I can show you guys. I went off on this person because it was 2 in the fucking morning. I said, why are you calling me at 2 in the morning? They sound like they're just woken up as well. And it was the same fucking person that usually keeps calling people. So I'm thinking either this idiot was trying to call. I don't know what, because they sounded tired as well. So it didn't seem to me like it was a simple mistake. It seemed to me like somebody woke him up and said, call this person in the middle of the night. That's what it seemed like to me. It didn't seem innocent. At 2 in the morning, and you're literally like half asleep yourself. That doesn't make any sense. So I called the police, of course, and they told me that because it had been months in between, that the last time they called me was like months ago, and it was like a few weeks ago. I think it was because I blocked their number. But this person called me back and said, who is this? I'm like, first of all, I haven't called you. Didn't call you. Second of all, like, yeah, the whole thing was just weird. And then on top of that, I talked to the police about it, and I was obviously very agitated, and I thought it was because of the prank phone call. So I was very agitated, right? And I said to the police caller, I said to them in no uncertain terms, look, if this person keeps bothering me, I'm going to have to find out who this number belongs to and go fucking down there and sort it out, because I'm sick of this person calling me. They know it's the wrong number. I'm sick of them doing it. So that's what's going to have to happen, right? And I even sent them a text. And I don't care if they dox their number. They can go cry about it. Stop calling me. But anyway, yeah, I sent them a text. Hang on a sec. This is the text that I sent them. And I'll read it for you. I said, I've blocked your number again as you keep calling me under different numbers, but understand this. I am calling the police. Next time I'm going to find out who this number belongs to, because I'm not about to have some random motherfucker calling me and playing games. Memorize this number, block it if you have to, but stop calling it. Knock it the fuck off. Alright? So, sent them that. That was after I'd been on the phone to 101, but during the phone call to 101, I was very, very stressed out, and I kept like talking over the police officer. Like, it wasn't deliberate, and they were acting like it was deliberate, but then again, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. It was 2:30 when I called them up. So they were telling me to stop talking. Now, this is the part where I started to get angry, because the thing is, I'm the one who's being prank called. I'm the one who's being blatantly harassed. And you're turning around to me and telling me to stop talking like I'm your child. You ain't that fucking high up in the police. And I didn't come swimming out of your balls, so check yourself, okay? I don't put up with anybody talking to me like that, and especially not when I'm stressed out. And then I said, why didn't you just say, look, I understand that you're angry, but just chill out for a second, rather than just saying stop talking? And then they said, oh, I'm going to hang up on you now. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Hang up. And I told the police in no uncertain terms, it wasn't before that person hung up the phone. I said to the police, if you don't do something about this shit, I've given you the number. I've given you the number of the person who keeps calling me. You don't do something about it, okay? I'm going to come down there and I'm going to handle it myself. So I've told the police exactly what I'm going to do if they don't take care of it. So as far as I'm concerned, that's on them. They can't say to me that, because the thing is, they're already writing down that I have a history of mental illness. They're writing down that I have paranoid, schizophrenic and all that type of shit, right? So they're writing all this type of shit down, and yet they're going to take the risk on me acting on an episode and doing nothing about this harassment. They haven't even done anything about the serious DEW attacks against me, and yet they want to take the risk of somebody like me that they've said is paranoid schizophrenic going down there to the person who's been ringing me and saying knock it off. They were warned. So I'm just letting everybody know now. This is the reason why if I commit any misdemeanors, I get that shit on camera. Now, I'm not afraid to incriminate myself if it means that I get evidence of what the police have been doing. I'm not afraid to do that if it means getting evidence on what people at the top of the pyramid have been doing. Transparency is key. Now, I don't always save the videos that I post. Some of the videos that I post, I take them down because, not because they incriminate me, but because they're embarrassing. And because I paint myself in a light that I don't need to paint myself in. But rest assured, there are certain times where if I commit certain misdemeanors, I'm going to log it and keep them recorded. Not because I want to be caught, not because I want anybody to, to use it against me, but so that you guys know for a fact that I am loyal to the truth. So the police cannot say they were not warned about harassing me. They cannot say they weren't warned about anything. They cannot say they were unaware of what I was going to do. They can't say that. Okay? So that's why I tell you guys. That's why I tell you what's happening. And I know I'm not making much sense, but, if you guys know, and them guys know, then nobody can't say they weren't warned. Nobody. I'm talking in circles, but, long story short, I had an argument with the call centre person at the police station. They cut the phone off, and I'm like, yeah, fuck off, like... I don't give a fuck if he's upset. At the end of the day, the police are, if the police are not corrupt, they're useless. I don't give a fuck if I upset them. The only reason I even bother calling them is so that I can keep stuff logged. But anyway, the point that I'm actually coming to, wrapping all of this up, I thought that the reason why I was so angry and the reason why I was so frustrated was because of the prank call. But now I realized back then, this morning, was that my reaction to the prank call was over the top because I was already on edge. So my reaction to the prank call was over the top. My reaction to 101 was over the top. Because the real thing that was upsetting me was the attacks on my heart. They were actually quite bad. If I was to tell you, in here they're mild at the moment because they're just attacking this area here. They're attacking my heart from the back, but it's actually quite mild. The directed energy attacks on my heart are quite mild at the moment. But when I went in that bedroom to try and get some sleep, the attacks on my heart were quite serious. It felt like somebody was burrowing a hole in my heart. That's how it felt. It was really, really bad. So for a little bit, I kind of blamed myself for going off like that and thinking to myself, I shouldn't be so angry. Like, this isn't right. But then I remember I've been experiencing sleep deprivation, not only as a result of me being on the internet all the time, but as a result of me being literally tortured at the most vulnerable hours of the night to the point where I can't sleep. So I wanted to go into sleep in that room. I wanted to sleep during the night, but I wasn't allowed to because of this pain in my heart. And I really wanted to call the hospital or call the ambulance or call 111 because that would have been the sensible thing to do. But I was in that situation where now I understand my parents more than I ever have done. I did not want anything to do with the NHS at this point because what they would always do is they would play up mental health illnesses or mental illnesses and they would downplay physical ones. Because, of course, these defense systems need to make their money and they need to carry on whatever unlawful experimentation that they're doing. So, of course, they're going to downplay physical health issues and upgrade mental health issues in order to throw people off the scent, like it's really going to work at this point with so many people coming out about Havana syndrome. Like that's really going to fucking work now. But that's exactly what they would have done. If I'd have called the ambulance or 111, they would have played up the mental illness issues, and they would have played down the physical ones. They always do that. And then on top of that, if I'd have called the police and told them that I was having weapons fired at my heart, they would have told me to call the NHS if I was having chest pains, when really I'm calling them because a crime is being committed against me. If you are having your heart having your heart burned into by either light weaponry or sound weaponry, acoustic weaponry, if you're having your heart affected by that, that's a crime, isn't it? So I'm going to be reporting. It's happened before. If you look back at my social media when I've reported crimes on my physical person and the fact that directed energy weapons are responsible, go and look back at my social media and see exactly how the police handle it. If I was to tell the police somebody's firing weapons at my heart, they would have referred me to the NHS. The NHS would have either played it down or said you need to go in A&E, and next thing I know, I go to the hospital and all they've done is taken blood and probably put another chip in. That's exactly what would have happened. That's exactly how it would have played out. That's the only reason why I get severe torture like this, is so that I can go to hospital, get blood taken from me, and get chips put in. So that's exactly what would have happened. It would have been a waste of my time. Nothing would have been properly diagnosed. Would have been a complete waste of my time. It would have been a complete waste of my time. So, with all of this, I was angry. I was very angry. The thing about women is that we're good at masking and we're used to pain. So, sometimes when we go through pain, we internalize it, especially if it's physical, because physical pain is something that women are used to. And if you've heard of something called masking is part of the reason why people haven't really been able to put a pin on my mental illnesses. It's part of the reason, because women are better at masking than men are, because it's something that we've had to learn to do in order to keep men from attacking us, or keep men from, it's an intergenerational thing. It's something that we've had to do to keep men from attacking us. So we learn how to mask. When we're ill, when we suffer with ADHD, we suffer with depression, we suffer with anxiety, suffer with BPD. We're good at masking. We're very good at masking. So that's my problem. When I go through physical pain, because I know I can't really do anything about physical pain beyond knocking on every single person's door and breaking into every single person's home and finding out if they got those fucking Raytheon weapons or not. Like, beyond breaking into everybody's house and finding out whether they've got those fucking weapons or not, there's not a whole lot I can do. First of all, if I'm going to do that, I have to make sure that a specific person is firing weapons on me in the first place. And even then, I have to run through the gauntlet of, it's not just a thing where random perps are acting. This is a whole hierarchy of perps. So you've got like groups of 3 to 5 perps, right? And there are usually 3 groups per area, which a handler takes care of, right? Hang on. So it's usually handlers. You get 3 groups of 3 to 5 perps, right? And there are normally 3 groups in each. And then there are handlers within those groups. And then you've got the controllers at the top who handle the splinter groups, right? That's what they're called, the splinter groups. I could be wrong about this. I could get it in the wrong order. But you get the gist. There's like 3 to 5 groups of perps in each area. And they all have informal collaborators of their own. So it's weird. It's like, if I had to compare it to the way a drug cartel works, it would be like the friends and associates of perps are runners, then the perps themselves are the soldiers, then the handlers are the managers, and then the controllers are the CEOs of the whole thing, or of the whole operation. But then again, that's just from what we know, because there's a very strong hierarchy to this that we don't know of. Controller is not the highest rank of this operation at all. It's just the highest rank that we know of. So even if I was to break into some perp's house and find out exactly what fucking Raytheon or Thale or fucking, Lockheed weapon they're using on me, if I was to even break into one of their places and find out what weapon they're using on me, I still got to go through other perps as well. Not only have I got to go through other perps too, I've also got to go through the handlers of those perps. I still don't know who my handler is. I've also got to go through the handlers of this perps. And then after the handler, I've got to go through the controllers of those perps. So it's, it's not that I wouldn't do anything to investigate it. It's just that it takes a lot of strategy to investigate something like this. It takes strategy. It takes a certain amount of cunning. You can't just, I'm one of those people that likes to just play maverick and just throw myself in there and just I'm a fuck around and find out kind of person. And I don't mean that as in, people can fuck around with me and find out. I'm the type of person to fuck around with other people and find out. I'm a fuck around and find out type of person. But even for somebody like me, I have to be very strategic about the ways in which I expose the murder and the torture and the corruption against me. I have to be very careful about how I do that. And I also have to make sure, because I've endangered people in the past for nothing more than revenge. Okay, I've endangered people in the past by revealing too much too early, or just not playing smart. So what I have to do with regards to myself is in order to optimally help other TIs, I have to be very strategic about what I say and what I do and how I investigate and reveal what's been going on with me. I've got to be very strategic for maximum effect and maximum accuracy. The facts have got to be rock solid. The evidence has got to be rock solid, and I can't do that if I do what I really want to do and be reckless. It's just the fact of the matter. So I have to put up with this sleep debt. I've got to put up with these fuckers trying to fire weapons on me until they get me hospitalized to take blood or put new chips in. I've got to put up with them doing all this for as long as they can until I can find a solution that will just shut all this shit down. That's what I have to do. So there is a lot behind this targeting. And in the meantime, because I'm masking the physical pain that I go through, and I'm masking all of this, I didn't realize I'd done such a spectacular job of lying to myself about why I was upset. I'm out here thinking that I'm upset because of things that I can actually control, or things that I might have control over. This prank calling bullshit, I might have control over that. I have more control over the prank calling bullshit than I do over the weapons being fired at my heart. Because first of all, I don't even know who's doing it. I don't even know from what distance I'm being attacked. It could literally be from anywhere. Because not only is my bedroom where the street is, but back there's a warehouse. I don't know what that warehouse does. Okay? So it's difficult for me to know exactly who's doing this and where it's coming from. At one point, it was worse in my bedroom than it is out here. In fact, it's usually worse in my bedroom than it is out here. That's part of the reason why I haven't slept in my bedroom for a while. So it's really a matter of just being strategic and playing smart and playing chess. And whilst I'm finding all this out, keep you guys in touch. Keep in touch with you guys. Keep doing the lives. Keep keeping people informed. And in the meantime, whether there's evidence against me or there's evidence against anybody else, I keep that shit 100. If there's any evidence against myself or anybody else, I keep that shit 100, because all of those details are going to be important later on down the line if they're not important already. So, anyway, yeah. I'm upset because of the physical torture. I'm not upset because of some idiot crank calling me. I'm upset because of the sleep deprivation. I'm not upset at some dickhead crank calling me. I'm not upset at any of that. Like, I have to admit, the hit and run street theatre pisses me off because it makes me want to punch every single one of them. But then I have to remember, yeah, it's perps. So, yeah, until then, until I can get some answers, I'm just going to have to just put up with as much as I can and find out what happens. I think they will hospitalise me. I just don't think it's going to be a mental health thing. I think it's going to be a physical health thing. I think they will hospitalise me again, but we have to wait and see. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Anyway, I love you guys. You take care of yourselves, my fellow TIs. I love you so much. Stay safe. And Winnie Mangwende's website, I am not a prototype for fellow TIs. I'm one of the volunteers for I am not a prototype. Winnie Mangwende is a wonderful lady. She is a great artist. I love her work, honestly. I love her aesthetic. She's getting ready to, she's building her website, and, the volunteers are kind of building up bios, and we're helping her with that. And once we're properly up and running, we will be able to help other TIs and, and advise them as what to do with mental health. In my case, with somebody else, it might be dealing with the daily attacks. So you guys take care of yourselves and stay tuned. Things are in the pipeline. So I love you guys. You take care of yourselves. Mwah. Bye-bye.